Hi everyone, I'm Lori.
And I'm Julian.
And we are I can always edit it, so that's not a problem. I'm Lori.
And I'm Julian.
And we are JLV Moments and More. And so we are going to take this segment to talk about rides at one of Disney World's parks. And Disney World, Florida, we're going to talk about Magic Kingdom's rides. Let's face it, Disney World has a ton of rides, and so we could be here for the next 4 or 5 days talking about rides alone. So in this segment, we're just going to talk about the rides at Disney World's Magic Kingdom. Now, I want to preface, we are not going to talk about every single ride. There's not enough time for that. So maybe we will do a second segment. If there is a ride we do not mention that you want to talk about, comment below, please, and let us know, and we will look to maybe do another video or two about those rides.
For sure. For
sure. So you ready to do this?
No.
No,
but
not
let's
at
do
all.
It anyway.
Let's do it anyway. All right. So let's talk about the, let me give you a little backstory on us. So we've been going to Disney for about 5 years. I'm a planner, so I did lots of research and understanding he is not. So I did all the research. And we also had an infant with us. So it was, what could we do? What couldn't we do? So that's how we got to know Disney World. We ended up going, we love going there. So we do go there quite often. We take our daughter with us. I think we have been 1 or 2 times without her over the years.
Very few.
Very few. Usually we take her with us, and so it's just trying to navigate what we can do and not do. And it does help that she's a little older now, so we can ride a lot more. But so let's talk about the rides. Let's start with the thrill rides, and I want to preface that these are not the thrill rides you see at your other theme parks. I'm not going to name them, but we all know which ones we're talking about. Sandusky, Ohio.
Williamsburg, Virginia.
Tampa. All those places. We're not talking that. We're talking Disney. So Disney's just, their approach is a little different. But they are still roller coasters. They are still a lot of fun.
Very fun. And
so Disney World Magic Kingdom has 5 roller coasters. Actually, they're roller coasters.
They are roller coasters.
So we have Barnstormer, Mine Train, Thunder Mountain, and then Space Mountain, and Tron is their newest. For me, I have only been on 3 of those 5. I've only been on Barnstormer, Mine Train, and Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain, yep.
I've been on all but Tron.
Yep, and I have not been on Tron or Space Mountain, so I can't speak for those 2. He could speak a little bit more for Space Mountain, and then of course we can talk about Tron, but we can't speak for Tron.
We can't give our experience.
We have not been on it yet. Hopefully in our next couple trips we'll get a chance to check that out. But let's give a first pro tip here. So pro tip, or however you want to look at that, pro tip. The Barnstormers. Let's talk about Barnstormer real quick. First of all, Barnstormer is a great starter roller coaster for your littles. If you have a 2 or 3-year-old, they do have to be 32 inches, so there is the minimum height requirement to it. And then, of course, you have to have the mommy heart or daddy heart to let them be on a roller coaster. Obviously, you are with them, or a parent adult is with them. But it's a great starter roller coaster in my view. The one thing or 2 things that I would mention is, first of all, be aware of the fact that it is a short ride.
Very short.
Compared to a lot of the other rides, it's very short. I believe it's less than 30 seconds.
I think it's very close to less than 30 seconds.
Timed it. So just be prepared for the fact that it is a short roller coaster ride. The next thing is, don't wait in line for more than 30 minutes.
Because it's so short, If you wait in line longer than that, you're probably going to be not very happy.
Yep. And it is an outside wait. It's not covered.
Yeah, it's all outside.
It's all outside. There's fans and some umbrellas. But
if it's a really hot, sunny day, you are not going to want to stand in line for that.
Yep. So just, again, keep in mind, it's a great ride for either early in the morning if you are choosing to rope drop. Get to the back part of the park first and get that done. You can also hit Dumbo while you're back there. Your meet and greets won't be open yet, just so you know.
You can get on the train,
but you can grab the train from over there. So just be aware of those kinds of things. And then you can again look to. Or I'm sorry, I just got distracted because I got a text on my phone. So you can either do the beginning rope drop or do it more towards the end of the night when, again, the wait times maybe won't be quite so crazy.
And monitor those wait times throughout the day, because there are going to be times when it dips down to like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I tell you, have the app on your phone. It's such key. And I know you want to go on vacation and not have to worry about planning and all that kind of stuff, but planning is so important for a place like Disney. I know people that have gone and have not properly planned or had a travel agent plan for them, and it has been the worst experience. It's going to be, because Disney is, you want to have something, and
there's so much.
There's just so much, and you're not going to be able to get to everything in one trip. So Barnstormer may not even be on your list if you don't have any littles.
Yeah, if you don't have littles, I would say bypass it all together.
Yeah, if it's just an adult trip,
move on to the next one.
Move on. You've got plenty of other rides to check out. So
move on to Big Thunder Mountain.
Yes. Yeah.
Because from that's the next kind of level for the roller coasters. In my opinion, Barnstormer's the least. It's that low level. Then you got Big Thunder Mountain, and then you go on to the other ones from there. Big Thunder Mountain, great ride, fun, probably one of the longer roller coasters at the park. And it actually, you even waiting in line for that one, you still feel like you got your money's worth, let's say. If you had waited in line for something like Barnstormer for over an hour, and you wouldn't be happy. Big Thunder Mountain, a little different. Big Thunder Mountain has a lot of fun aspects to it. Great, not huge drops, but fun, twisting drops that make it really interesting and fun. And waiting in line for that one's not nearly as bad as people think.
Yeah, I feel like with that one, they find a way to keep the line moving.
Yes.
And what's nice about Thunder Mountain is that they have the two cars going.
They're running. I think 3 to 4 trains.
Yeah, so they've got that continuous motion of loading the cars, and so I think in line too, the way they have their queues set up, you feel like you're constantly moving. Very rarely are you standing for, I'd say, more than 3 minutes.
Yeah. Almost seems like you're constantly moving forward.
And there's buttons to press buttons to press and wheels to turn and knobs to twist and all that kind of stuff. So if you have kids that they need to be occupied, there are things as you move along. Keep some hand sanitizer with you, because you never know who's touching what, but there's things to keep them occupied while you're waiting in that line. And I like the fact too that it is a bit of a covered, for the most part it is covered.
Most of the queue is covered, so you're not under the hot sun.
Yeah.
If you're there during the summer.
Now, if it's raining, it will close down. I want to make that clear. It is an outside ride, so even if you're in covered wait, if it's raining, they will close the ride down. So just keep that in mind. But with the hot sun and that kind of stuff, it is kind of nice to be out of the sun and in that covered area. So watch the wait times on that one too. You'll see higher wait times. So I highly recommend actually doing that one for Genie Plus.
Yeah, because you'll see 65 to 70 minutes wait time for that.
And it's consistent.
Yeah.
Very rarely will you see it go below that. except for like in the morning or again even late at night. But that's a consistent. And with Splash Mountain, no longer Splash Mountain, with that not being open yet, that's the only ride
in
back there.
In that part of the park.
In that part of the park. So a lot of people, they're going to go back there and they're going to wait. They're going to wait that 70, 80 minutes. So I would recommend trying to get a Lightning Lane specifically for that one. So you
Genie
can,
Plus.
I'm sorry, Genie Plus, thank you. See, even I get it confused. I would recommend doing the Genie Plus for that one because then you can go to the back of the park, ride it at whatever time you get that Genie Plus for, and then you're done with that back part of the park. Now, there is a train entrance back there too.
Yes, there is.
So you can kind of coincide it with that particular ride or attraction, whatever you want to call the train. You can try to coincide it with that too. But that's, again, pro tip, that's one of the ones that I would definitely do a Genie Plus for is the Mine Train. I'm sorry, I did it again. The Thunder Mountain Train. Yeah, here we go. We'll get that right. The Big Thunder Mountain Train. I would definitely Genie Plus that. So you do have your 3 other coasters or 3 other thrill rides. The reason I say Mine Train, so Mine Train, it's confusing. Mine Train is not a Genie Plus. Mm-hmm. Mine Train is a Lightning Lane. Yep. You do not need to get Genie Plus to get Lightning Lane. You can just strictly Lightning Lane. What is Lightning Lane? Lightning Lane is where you pay the extra money specifically for that ride. It's a one-time fee for that ride. Once you use it, that is done. You cannot use it again. So if your family is very dead set on, we want to ride Mine Train, here are some pro tips for Mine Train. One is rope drop it.
If you don't want to Lightning Lane it.
If you don't want to one, you don't want to pay the extra money, do a rope drop. So get yourselves to the park about a half hour before your opening time and make sure you know what time it opens. Because if you're staying on property at some of the resorts, you may be able to get in a half hour earlier and the rides are already going. So know when your rope drop time is. But get there and then get to that ride directly. You don't have to run, maybe walk fast, but you don't have to run. And don't be deceived by the line. They may not have opened the full queue setup in the ride itself. So the line may be going literally around to the back part of the park where there's Ariel's Grotto is back there. And so don't be deceived by that because the wait time may still only be about 30 minutes. They just haven't opened up the official queue yet. And that's what my daughter and I did. We waited about 30 minutes at the most. It was great. It was right at the beginning. We had good conversation with the people around us. It's one of the plus sides of having a 5.5-year-old that's very social, and so they kept the time going. But if you don't rope drop it, there is one other time that we would recommend that you try to ride it, and where you're not waiting. Tonight it's 115 minutes right now. It's about 8:30 in the evening, and it's about 115-minute wait time. That wait time will significantly drop during one time in the evening. And that is not at the end of the night. It is actually during the fireworks. Many people, they try to get their spots in for the fireworks, or that's what they have to do. That's what they're there for. Totally respect you. We are not big firework people. We've seen them. We watch them on YouTube a lot. And so we're just not as big on the firework spectacular and having to be in front of the castle. So this is a great time to get in line for a ride like Mine Train because, again, your wait time is going to significantly drop. Another pro tip, this goes for any rides in any parks, as long as you are in line by closing time. So if
before closing time.
So if closing time, let's say, is 9 p.m., as long as you are in line by 8:59 and 59 seconds, you can ride the ride.
Yep.
They won't turn you away. So just a heads up on that. They may have your queue shorter, so you may miss portions of the pre-show and some of the rides, depending on what that is. But that's also another good time where maybe you're not waiting as long. I don't know. I haven't done a last minute like that before.
And I do know there was maybe like last year, maybe even more recent, maybe 6 months ago, there was a time where I don't know why, but they were not letting people get back to certain areas to jump into line for rides, and I think it was mainly because of Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, was that over at Hollywood?
And I think it was over at Hollywood, but I've never seen them do that at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, pretty
unless
much
they're. But you also gotta be careful with this. You also have to know what time the parks are closing, because if you are there during the day in the evening there is a special event. At certain time, they will close off certain sections of the park and start moving people out, because the people who have the special event tickets will only be allowed to go back there.
Yeah. So this is where that planning comes into play. You want to know what time your park closes. Most times it could be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I know during the winter, I think it's usually more around 10,
9
maybe
sometimes.
even 9 sometimes. But especially in the fall season, you've got a lot of parties going on. You have, I think they're doing Halloween parties at least 3 times a week now, starting in August, if not more as you get into October. And then you have Mickey's Merry Christmas in November, December. So it's just, there are so many additional parties, and so you want to be aware of if the day you're planning to go to Magic Kingdom, when the fireworks happen, when the park actually closes, do you need to have that extra ticket? And because here's the thing too, those extra events, they sell out. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas is going to go fast. The Halloween is actually going to go fast too as you get closer into October. So kind of gone are the days where you can just walk up and buy tickets. It's just not, there's a lot of interest, at least what we've seen in the past. This year, we'll see what happens.
So, back to the rides.
We tangented. Yeah, sorry. We have done that.
Mine Train now is fun.
Yep. So
it's another one that's kind of short, depending on what you think of as long and short with roller coasters. But it's exciting. It's fun. And it's up to the rider, really. Like I said, Disney's roller coasters are not like those other parks. They're not going to be super fast, super long, super high. Disney made it, he wanted to make them enjoyable and fun and quick moving so that more people can get through the ride as possible.
Yeah. 38 inches, by the way, for Mine Train. So if you do have, again, littles in the sense of maybe 4 and 5 year olds, they should be able to ride it depending on how tall they are. So
and
38 inches.
And it's honestly, it's up to you to whether or not you want to let your kid ride it.
Yep. And with that one, they do have their own lap bar, so they can
Yes.
pull that down as tight as they need to. There's a good side to it, so again, just my mommy heart. These are all the little things I think of when I'm watching my little one on a roller coaster. But they're nice and tight in there, and of course they can always hold onto your arm and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they squeeze your arm.
Yeah. So Space Mountain and Tron, we'll probably save those for when we actually do ride the rides, since it has been so long and
I can tell you right now, Space Mountain is worth the wait. I mean, I remember it. I was a teenager when I rode it,
and when it's working, let's put it that way. No offense, Disney,
quite a while away. Sorry about that. That was a long time ago.
Yes.
But no, it's very fun, especially when you're riding it in the dark, and the cars are different than the ones at Disneyland. In this one, you're it's like you're one behind the other, and then the cars at Disneyland have 2x2. So this one it's a little bit more of a tight fit when you get into the car, but in my opinion, it makes it much more quick and fast and fun. It's like because you go through People Mover and you can see it. It's not a very big area, but man, do you get a lot of fun out of that ride.
So keep in mind claustrophobia. There are just some people that won't ride it because of fear that it's too tight. You can't see where you're going because it is in the dark.
Yes.
So
on a rare occasion, they do have the lights on, but it's very rare.
Yeah. And again, it's when it's running. There are times, it probably is one of the rides that does have a tendency to break down a little bit more.
It's one of the older rides there.
Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. When rides break down, it's not a bad thing. It's just there was just some little glitch that caused the whole thing to stop. That's for safety purposes.
Exactly.
So it could be so minor.
And just remember, it is not the cast members' fault.
Yes, it's not the cast members' fault. We love our cast members.
Just remember,
they're just doing their job. Yep, they're just doing their job. Pro tip, love the cast members, please. Give them kudos for all the things that they have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yes.
So be nice to the cast members.
And you will find there is still Disney magic out there.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that.
It will find you.
A little bit towards the end, but... So some non-thrill rides, we'll talk a few of those. Well, let's talk about the most nostalgic non-thrill ride that everyone
seems to have to ride every day at Disney.
If anyone has answers as to why that ride is like the number one ride to be on, I would love to hear some theories out there. I mean, I have my own for sure, but Peter Pan.
We're talking about
Peter Pan. It is the most popular. The wait times can be insane. I've seen the Genie Plus line at like out.
Oh yes, Genie Plus.
Yeah. It is so strange.
It's a fun ride. Don't get me wrong.
It's just. It's a must for. I guess I don't know why. I don't understand. Now, I will tell you, it is kind of fun, though, if you do a rope drop in the morning, to try to get that one. So to try to get Peter Pan, Small World, maybe even the Carousel, to try to get that all in before, like, in the first half hour. There we go, challenge for whoever wants to try that. But it is fun to try to get all three, and then you're getting all three done before you know it. So that typically, but I would recommend
you get to have the song in your head all the rest of the day.
But I would recommend go to Peter Pan first, then go to Small World, and then go to the Carousel. Do it in that order, because the Peter Pan line will fill up very quickly. Again, there is one other time that the best time to ride Peter Pan, other than the morning, is during the fireworks. I can't tell you enough. During fireworks, there are just a lot of things that you're able to do in a very quick amount of time, because everyone is going to see the fireworks. And if you don't care about them, or you saw them the night before, or whatever it may be, that is the time to definitely get in some of those rides that are a little bit more popular.
Oh, yeah.
So Peter Pan, of course, again, great ride. I don't know if it's really worth the wait. Because I've seen some crazy wait times for that ride.
Like you said, it's that feeling of nostalgia. I don't know what it is that drives people crazy about riding it. But if you're one of those people, go get in line.
Now, it is a covered wait line. I do want to make that. Yeah. The majority of it, I think 99% of it is a covered wait line.
We actually stood in the line one time when it was out.
Yeah, when it was out past all of that. But that was very rare. So pretty much for the most part, it is a covered wait. They do have some cute little stuff towards the tail end of their queue that are fun for the kids. Tinkerbell's flying through the air, and you get to be in the bedroom of the kids. So there's some really cool little things in there. But yeah, it's definitely a nostalgia. And so if it is, I know, and I got Tinkerbell right up here too. So, if that is on your list, if you can get it early in the morning, right? If your plan is to spend all day at Disney, at Magic Kingdom, you can grab it early in the morning, and then you don't have to use your Genie Plus for it. You can save your Genie Plus for other items. Yep. But if you are going to Genie Plus it, just be prepared that it's probably going to be for later in the day also. Unless you're really quick on the draw with your Genie Plus and you're able to get it early in the morning. The other one that has become, actually there's a couple that have become really popular also. You have Jungle Cruise, Pirates, and of course Haunted Mansion. Those are very popular too. Worth the wait, in my view. You've basically 2 out of the 3 are indoors for them, are well covered. That would be Jungle Cruise, and definitely Pirates is more inside than anything, mainly inside.
Extremely well covered.
Haunted Mansion is covered, but you are outside, so the heat can kind of get to you a little bit. But I like the queue of the Haunted Mansion. There's all these little tombstones to read and just kind of little fun little things. Great picture opportunities.
Definitely.
So if you're into, make sure you stand there. We're gonna take a picture. We're at Disney. Haunted Mansion, I think, has probably the best little photo ops in their queue. And then, of course, they have that pre-show also with Haunted Mansion. Now, if you wait till the very end of the night to get in line for Haunted Mansion, it is very possible that pre-show will not happen, that they'll just push you through into the ride just to get people through. So, and Haunted Mansion does have a tendency, actually Pirates lately too, they do have a tendency to break down. So just be aware of that. Another pro tip real quickly with Haunted Mansion, if you are going in, I believe it's the first weekend in August, it will be closed down. They are expecting to have it open by August 11th for the first Halloween party, which we are actually going to be at the second Halloween party of the year. So hopefully we'll get to do a little video from that. What else do you want to talk about?
No, we got to talk about Jungle Cruise.
Oh, okay, so let's talk about Jungle Cruise. Yay or nay on Jungle Cruise?
I love Jungle Cruise. Whether it's a good captain or a bad captain. Because if it's a good captain, they're going to make you laugh. If it's a bad captain, you get to heckle them.
See, I'm the kind. I don't like to heckle. So, pro tip: if you don't like to heckle, maybe no. I'm just kidding. I'm not a big heckler, so I want to have a good captain. I am always impressed by the ones that they just know it and they just go. Mm-hmm. You can always tell the newer ones because, well, it did not always, but
their delivery is definitely not as well seasoned.
It's
as
not
some.
as tight. It's not as tight.
If you have a captain who's been there a while and their delivery is spot on, it's gonna make for a much more fun time.
Yeah. So it's just really this is another one where you really have to find the magic in it. It is the same ride over and over again.
Yes.
Now they have finally over the years changed up the lines. They have different delivery lines. I felt like in the beginning when we first started going, the lines were the same over and over again.
I think each captain probably has. There's probably a few different scripts.
Finally, again,
instead of just one that everyone's using, it seems like a couple. There might be 2 or 3 different ones now, and it makes it definitely more fun.
Yeah, because then they can use what works best for them and for their personality. And we don't have any friends that are part of that, or we don't know any captains personally. It's just what we've viewed as people who have gone and ridden the ride a handful of times. Again, I felt back in the beginning, it was just there was just one script. Everyone knew it. Everyone was repeating it. At least now, I feel like you don't quite know which line they're going to deliver. We've seen it enough. We've been on it enough that we know the lines, but you don't know who's going to use what. So I do like that part. But if you have a captain that can't deliver their lines and you can't hear them, I think it can make for a very boring ride.
Definitely can make for a boring.
Then you're really pushing to try to find the magic of it. But the one thing I do like about Disney World that I don't believe they have in Disneyland is they have the covered section towards the tail end. If I remember correctly,
Magic Kingdom has the I don't know if they want to call it. Do you call it like Cambodia or the Cambodian Temple, or it's something to do with? I don't want to use the wrong.
It's some kind of temple,
but it's a temple like that you go through, and Magic Kingdom has it, but Disneyland does not.
Disneyland in California does not.
Just like Disneyland has a section in Pirates that Magic Kingdom doesn't have.
Yeah. So again, I think with Jungle Cruise, it's all in the eye of the beholder. It's in what. It also, I think, also depends on the person your captain of the boat. But there are some people like Julian who thinks it's the best ride no matter what.
It's fun.
It has fun no matter what. Again, for me, it just kind of really depends on the day.
If you like bad jokes, you'll love the ride.
Well, they're dad jokes.
So
it's all about dad jokes.
Yeah.
Now, but I will tell you, my favorite ride and kind of my must when we go to Magic Kingdom is Pirates. And I know it's the same ride over and over again, and there isn't any more, nothing's changed or nothing's different. You don't have anybody delivering different lines or anything like that.
Well, some things have changed.
Some things, well, yes, we've gotten a little bit more PC over time. Okay, that's fine. But there's something about that ride. It's just a lot of fun. If anyone understands, there's, the smells, there's like the specific smell within Pirates. There's even a candle out there. There's candles out there that have the pirate ride smell, but it does have that little, just thrill aspect to it that anybody can enjoy. It does, there's no restrictions to this ride. So there's no height restrictions or anything like that. So I do really like that aspect. It's just a fun. And so if you want to talk about nostalgia, it's a nostalgia for me. For whatever reason it is. So wow, we're hitting close to 30 minutes here. So I think we're going to end our conversation on this.
We'll definitely have to do a segment too for some of the other rides.
Yeah, because there's lots of other rides we have not even talked about. Of course, there's the character meet and greets. There's so much out there. So if you want to hear more, when you want to hear more, or what you want to hear, let's put it, the what you want to hear, please, again, comment below. We would love to hear from you.
Please like this video, subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Hit the notification bell if you're, we'll be here.
We will be here, and we want to hear from you. So we hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.